Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Can't Be Explained. This is episode number 8. I'm so excited to be back with you guys, especially on today. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day. We got college basketball back. We had a crazy week 9 in the NFL. We got 15 games for the NBA tonight because the election is tomorrow, so no games will be on. So 15 games is all teams playing tonight. And we just have a lot to unpack. And then we also have a Monday Night Football game too. So a lot to get into. I'm super happy, super excited about it. But before we can get into it, you guys know the drill. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you didn't like and comment on the last video, go ahead and do that now. And go ahead and make sure you do that while you're watching this video. Whether you're hating, whether you loving it, whatever it is, go ahead and comment and let me know. Give me some feedback. Also, another new thing I got to let you guys know is that I did make a new Instagram page specifically just for the podcast. So before it was going through my personal one, this one will be going through just the podcast for It Can't Be Explained. So the @ name is @Can'tBeExplained. No underscores, no spaces, no periods, no any of that. Just Can't Be Explained on Instagram. So I'm just going to load that thing up with a bunch of different reels because I make reels. I have a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to flood my own page with it. So I will have it there. So all of the content that you will need for this podcast will be right there. So if you're not already, go ahead and follow that. I'm going to drop the QR code for you to go ahead and scan that as well. So again, let's go ahead and get right to it. I don't want to waste any time. So what I'm going to do first is I want to start with the 4 things that's not really going to make the cut today. So these are things that I want to mention because I feel like they're important, but I'm not going to get too much into it. So the first one is Raiders OC Luke Getsy was fired. Don't know why he was hired in the first place. Awful with the Bears, awful with the Raiders. Fired. Antonio Pierce, probably right behind them soon enough. But, yeah, Luke Getsy, you're fired. Goodbye. And Raiders, y'all are jokes. Yeah, you're just a joke franchise. Dennis Allen, fired with the Saints. Don't have a strong take on him. I know a couple Saints fans. They all hate him, so I guess it probably was him. Michael Thomas laid into Derek Carr on Twitter. And then Kamara had some comments that kind of seemed like he was pointing to the coaching as well. Dennis Allen finds himself without a job today. Interesting to see what the Saints do down there because their cap situation, they've just been kicking it down the road for so long, and now it's kind of coming up to bite them. I don't know what they do, if they're going to be sellers at the deadline or what's going to happen, but we'll see. And then the other thing is the Panthers got their second win. So congratulations to the Panthers. Clap it up for the Panthers, man. I had people texting me, oh, yeah, you see what happened. Yeah, shut up. You can't talk. Dude, y'all won y'all second game of the season. You might not win no more. So congratulations. But whatever. With them winning, though, the crazy thing, 7 teams are now 2-7. The league is horrible. So, and it's crazy because a lot of the problems are from the quarterback position, and it's not a good quarterback draft. I like 2 quarterbacks in this draft. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if some of those teams will be sellers. I'm hoping my Chargers can get in on a little bit of action, but we'll see. Deadline is tomorrow, going along with the election day. Let me just take a quick pause. I'm not a political guy, but I will say I do believe in the right to vote. So if you guys haven't already, make sure tomorrow you take the time to go and vote. And whoever you're voting for, just make sure you express your opinion and go with your right to vote. So make sure you get out there and vote for whichever side you're going to vote for. Now that that's out the way, things we're not going to go too much into, the political stuff, all of that. Let's go ahead and get into what we really, really, really come here for. So starting with the NFL, great week. Great week all around. Baltimore dominated the Broncos, which I needed them to do. We had an amazing game with the Seahawks and the Rams. That was a good game. The Lions still look like world beaters going up there to Green Bay, playing in that rain. It didn't matter. People said they couldn't play outside. Didn't matter. They look like world beaters. They look like the best team in the league, honestly. But my favorite thing, and you guys already know what it is the Chargers. So my Chargers, we go to Cleveland, and we pick up the W. We are now 5-3. And it's so sweet because it's always funny to me how the week before, right, Jameis is, oh, Jameis did good. This team is changing without Deshaun Watson. Jameis is this. And then it's now we win. It's like, oh, I mean, y'all beat the Browns. No, 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 no. Let's go back to what y'all was saying before. Let's stay right there. Let's stay on that. So I don't try to discredit our win. It was a tough win. We had to go to Cleveland and whoop them boys. And that's just kind of what happened. And the thing is, y'all put y'all faith in Jameis. Like, I don't know why you would even do that. That's y'all fault. Like, I know what Jameis is. I've seen Jameis play for the Bucks for many years, then the Saints, now Cleveland. He does the same thing. He's up here and then he's down here. He's just like a roller coaster. That's just what happens with him. So I don't get what the oh yeah, Jameis this. Listen, let me say this before I make it seem like I'm just going in on Jameis. I like Jameis. Jameis is a funny guy. He is a Christian man as well. Like, I like Jameis. But I just knew what it was going to be. And I said before the game, Jameis is going to give us at least one, maybe possibly two. And he gave us 3 interceptions. If you watch the Ravens game, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the second half, especially that last drive to win the game last week for them. First off, it's a divisional game. Jameis also threw like 3 interceptions. The Ravens players just kept dropping them. Even with Kyle Hamilton, he dropped the on that last drive right before the play to Tillman. He dropped it. So really, if you want to be real, Jameis threw interceptions then. They just were dropped. And that's pretty much how it goes with Jameis. So I knew that. Like, you give us those opportunities, we're going to take advantage. Now, early on in the game, it didn't look like we were because Deion Henley, he dropped the interception. He could have had, it would have been a tough catch, especially for a linebacker, but still could have had one. I can't remember who else dropped one. I think Derwin James dropped one too. But then after that, we ended up with 3. So we get the deflection from my rookie, Tariq Steele, balling out there. Both of my rookies. Shout out to Cam Hart. Shout out to Tariq Steele. Those boys are balling. 5th round for Steele. I think Hart was in the 4th round, maybe 3rd round. I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. But either way, great pickups, great additions. And that's with Asante Samuel out, Kendall Fulton out. So that's really good that we're out there playing like that. So shout out to those boys. We also had a good amount of sacks. I know at one point we had 6. I don't know what we finished the game with, but we got after the quarterback a lot. I really like that. We made Jameis fumble too. He got back on it, but we also blocked the field goal attempt. So it was just a good game, man, for the defense, and the defense really just carried us. And I'm just so happy to finally have a defense. Like, I tweeted, I was like, man, I prayed for a defense like this. I literally have, man, because for so long, for the past few years, especially with Herbert's putting up 30 points, 30-plus points, and the defense is also giving up 30-plus, 40 points. And it's hard to win in the NFL when you do that. Like, you can't just outscore people, whether you're on the road or at home. And one thing I said last week, in the pod, if you guys watched, if you didn't, you can still go check it out. But what I said was, one thing that's impressing me is how the coaching has changed, how the culture has changed dramatically. It's like night and day. Like, this game would have been way harder in the past. We wouldn't have looked at it and been like, oh, that's Jameis. We're going to win. We're going to do what we need to do. Or our defense is going to shut it down. The offense is struggling in the second half. No, it was, we come out here, we dominate from start to finish. And that's what happened in this game. And that would not have happened in the past. So that's what I'm loving the most. Like, we can't help who we play. People say our schedule has been weak. Yeah, it's weak because we were a 4th-place team last year, and we're playing a 4th-place schedule. So it is what it is. But like I said, in the past, it didn't matter who we were playing. Like, should win the game, and we wouldn't. We could win the game, and we wouldn't. Now we're actually capitalizing and finishing these games. So that's what I like to see the most. And I'm just loving how Herbert is playing right now, man. Like, right now, it's Lamar and Herbert are the best 2 quarterbacks in the league right now, how they're playing. They're playing lights out. Herbert, 282, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, only 1 this year. So he's best in the league with interceptions right now. JK, we had some good stuff on the ground, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Quentin Johnston, shout out to you, man, because everybody tried to throw you under the bus. They doubted you. I even said that you didn't have no hands. I said, man, it was looking ugly for you. But then I kind of pulled that back, and I was like, you know what? My boy was a rookie. He got thrust into the spotlight when he wasn't supposed to be. He's supposed to be our fourth string or our wide receiver four, or five really. But what happened was, Keenan and Mike got hurt. He got thrust into that position. Bad coaching staff. It just wasn't a good look for him. He came back. He fought the adversity, and he's balling right now. So career day, 118 yards, a touchdown. Shout out to you, man. You doing a lot. I think he's gonna keep growing and get more confident and more confident. And I just think the sky's the limit for him as well as McConkey. And like I said, we already mentioned the defense, and that all culminated to us going to be a 5-3 team with the Titans up next. Titans are horrible. We should win the game. Again, I believe we will because we have that culture now. We have that coach that capitalizes on bad teams and executes and wins the game. So shout out to my Chargers, man. We just got to keep playing like we are. After this Titans game, the schedule does pick up and get a little harder. We got Bengals at home. We got Ravens at home. And then we end up having Chiefs in Kansas City. And then Falcons in Atlanta, and then Chiefs in Kansas City. And then we have Buccaneers. So it does become a good little stretch there. But I think if we come out of that, let's say, 500 or better, and Broncos after that. So let's just say the next 6. If we come out 500 or better, our playoff chances are in good shape. And I think we could beat the Buccaneers. I think we could beat the Falcons, and I think we could beat the Chiefs. Ravens game, I'm not super optimistic about. We'll see. I think Ravens are a really good team. Our defense haven't been tested like with a Lamar Jackson or a Derrick Henry, but typically though we played Lamar Jackson pretty well in the past though, so we'll see how that goes. And then the Bengals game just got flexed into a Sunday night game, so that's going to be interesting to see. The last couple times we played them, we've won and whooped them pretty good. So very interested to see that. Optimistic about the team, optimistic about the future. I'm loving what we got going on. This team is doing what I thought, though. I thought, like, coming out of this stretch, we would be no worse than about 6-3. I thought we should go 7-2, but I knew we'll have a hiccup somewhere. And that hiccup came with the Cardinals. So as long as we take care of business next week, we'll be right where I thought we was going to be, right in that playoff mix. So shout out to my Chargers, man. Let's keep it rolling. And let's just, keep everything solid, man. We get more healthy. We playing better. Play calling is still good. I think, like I said before on the other pods, if you haven't seen it again, go ahead and check it out. But like I said, y'all was too hard on Greg Roman. I mean, you had Herbert, didn't really know the offense. His foot was messed up in training camp. And then when he came in, he messed up the ankle. So it's really like, it took some time, but I liked how the offense is starting to open up now. You had your receivers going as well. They're back, so you start taking some down and field shots. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think it only gets better. So let's keep this thing rolling, man. So let's go ahead and move on. So again, one more time, shout out to the Chargers. So moving forward, at the top of this, I did mention that the NBA has 15 games tonight. Every team plays. Should be a lot of fun. One of the matchups that I'm interested in watching a little bit is the Cavs and the Bucks. So Giannis and Dame, I talked about this before as well. They've been pretty bad. And last game they played the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell ended the game with it wasn't a buzzer beater. It was like 0.3 left on the clock, but it was a game-winning shot. And I believe Giannis had like 37 and 11 or 37 and 12, some crazy numbers. And then Dame had like 42, and he also had 10 threes, and they still lost the game. So when you're doing that, where does it come down to? Coaching. And that's what I keep going back to. It's back to Doc Rivers. I just never really bought into Doc, and I just don't think he's the guy, man. And you fire Adrian Griffin, who's like 30 and 12, 30 and 13, something like that, and you fire him, and you bring in Doc, and you guys been bad ever since. You bad to start the year out, and now you playing the Cavs again on, I think it's a home and home, and you're playing them, and let's see, like, can you win it? And it's like Giannis on the injury report, he's questionable. Dame is going to play. It's looking like Bobby Portis may start if Giannis doesn't. If you lose that game, like, you're just falling down, especially the Cavs is going to be a team that's, I think the Cavs are still undefeated right now. So it's going to be a team that's going to be in that upper echelon of the East. So that's going to be a team you have to see. They're building up more and more confidence against you guys while you guys are just losing confidence. So I'm going to tune into that and see what's going on. But what I'm really going to focus on in a little bit is LeBron James and Anthony Davis hooping for the Lakers, man. I've been loving it, man. Like, of course, we took a couple L's that I didn't like. But overall, LeBron is in year 22, and it's nothing short of amazing, man. He averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 50, 44, and 75, 44 from the three. So that's a career high for him so far. That 50, it's going to go up. Like, he's sitting right at, it's really 49.8, but we round up, whatever. But yeah, it'll go up. It'll sit somewhere around 52, 53 before it's all said and done. Probably a little higher. But the main thing on this team, though, is AD, man. AD, if you could stay healthy and, give us a full season like you did last year, the MVP looks like it's yours. I mean, you're averaging 31 points, 12 rebounds. You're shooting 57% and 78% from the free throw line. That needs to come up a little bit. But you're also averaging 2 blocks and 2 steals. So we know you to be a defensive stopper, and that's exactly what you're out there doing. But you're also doing it on the offensive end. Like, anybody in front of you is on site, is kill zone. So you doing what you got to do. I think right now, early odds, I mean, you should be the favorite to be in the MVP. They're not going to give it to you because the media disrespects you over and over. But I think it'll be a good point right now. We'll see how the Nets, I want to say 20, 30 games go, because I think, this is what we've been wanting. Like, if you followed the Lakers since LeBron got there, or the Lakers prior, if you were the OG Lakers fans or whatever you want to call yourself, everybody said, LeBron is getting older. We want Anthony Davis to take over and be the guy. And up to this point, it just hasn't happened, whether it was injuries, whether it was lack of, assertiveness on a back-to-back night. You could get AD to be this monster one night, and then he would just be lackadaisical on the next night. So I don't know, but right now he's locked in. He's in the zone. I don't know if the Olympus had anything to do with it, but if he continues this, he should be the favorite to win MVP, and this will be like a changing of the guard where AD actually goes ahead and takes that baton from LeBron, and LeBron can be a number 2 option in year 22, 23, 24, however long LeBron ends up playing, because it doesn't look like he's slowing down. But he's averaging giving you 22, 6, and 7 as a number 2 option. Hey, man, like, that'll be great for the Lakers. And as they keep bolstering the team, like, they do need to add more shooting, I think. So we'll see what they do as the season goes on and the trade deadline. I think having another center beside AD would help so he can really go out there and play the 4. But I think shooting is the most important thing for this team. Gabe Vincent has been awful from the 3-point line. Austin Reeves is, doing Austin Reeves type of things. LeBron has been pretty good. AD still isn't good from the 3, but he hasn't shot a lot. But, I think Rui hasn't been that good either. Neither has D'Lo. So really nobody's shooting good on the team. But if they can get an extra guy or they start actually making the shots, I think they become a legit threat right now. I think they are a threat because whenever you have LeBron and AD, you're going to be in the midst. But I think if you get an extra shooter, a guy that can knock down shots, and then maybe also some more size, Jackson Hayes has this criminal situation going on. It looks like I don't know what's going to happen with that. But if you can get an actual legit backup center or either someone to start beside AD, I think that would be really great for this team. So super excited about where they're going. They play the Pistons tonight. About to go ahead and watch that in about an hour here once I get done talking to you guys. And the last thing I want to touch before we get out of here is NCAA is back, as I mentioned at the top of the show. We got a lot of teams playing tonight. I don't know who all plays. I think most teams play. I know Carolina plays, Duke plays. So with Duke, of course, you get Cooper Flagg out there. Carolina, we get Drake Powell out there. We get RJ coming back for his last year. So we want to see how that's going to look. We're number 9. I watched this in like the, exhibition games, preseason, whatever. We look pretty good. So we play Elon tonight, which is Burlington University is what I call it. So we should whoop them. They got the spread like 21.5 or 24.5. something crazy. All these spreads are super high tonight. I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Just it's the first night. Like let me see how things is going before I just jump in there. So I think I'm gonna take a back seat on there. But this season should be fun though. Like Cooper Flag got all this excitement. I don't like Duke. I hate Duke, but hey, I root for good players. So I would want to see him, see how he hoops, and then he's gonna be one and done. So it's gonna be fun to see how he does. Ace Bailey with Rutgers, they should be really good too. They got a point guard. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's Ron Harper's son though. He's really, really good too. So I think that team is gonna be good to watch. Good to see Calipari go down there. He left Kentucky. We'll see what he does. I think he's at Arkansas. Think that'll be interesting to see how that works out. You got Arizona returning some players. Michigan State, the usual suspects, UConn, the champions. It's always good to see these teams and see Kansas and all these teams to see how they play. But it's back, man. Like we finally made it. We reached that point, that perfect, the stars align, that moment where we get college basketball on a Monday or Tuesday night. We got football, NFL. We still got college football going on. We got NBA. We got, whatever else gets thrown in there. So we have all of this stuff, man. It's a lot to talk about. And for me, I'm super excited because this is my first year doing the pod, obviously. But it'll be my first time. I've been easing myself into it, doing NFL every week, and then starting to pick up on NBA. Now I have college to add into that. And then as the season goes on, the NFL will start to wind down. It'll be just college basketball and just NBA. So I'm super excited to see my growth on that, and I hope you guys take the journey with me. But yeah, man, it's been a fun pod. It's been a lot to talk about. As you can see, the NFL is on fire right now, and the trade deadline, I know that should get heating up. Hopefully, we talk about this every year. NBA deadline always heats up, but NFL, you have all this excitement, and then it's just like, nothing. So we will see. We'll see. Hopefully the Chargers make a move. Hopefully some splash trades around the league go on tonight and, tomorrow. I think the deadline stops at like 4 p.m. Eastern or 3 p.m. Eastern, one of them. So, it'll be good to see that. And then again, we got Monday Night Football. We got college basketball, all of this stuff. So bunch of stuff. So for our sports fans out there, man, this is our time. This is our time to shine. Go grab your phone, open your FanDuel account, go to DraftKings, whatever you use, and just start loading up, man. It's this time. And, girlfriends out there, fiancés, wives, whatever, y'all just got to understand this is our time to shine. So let us live, man. Let us live. But anyway, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I will be back later in the week. So like I said, with the Instagram, I will be posting more reels. So I'm not going to just strictly do the long episodes of pods. I'm going to make videos to talk about betting, talk about quick recaps, whatever it is. And then we can just make it into a reel, and I can actually post that and get that stuff out more periodically through the week instead of having to wait once a week and do that. So that should be fun. Like I said, if you haven't followed the page yet, I'm going to link it here so you guys can see it. But I will talk to you guys some point this week. But other than that, man, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.